I thank the Foreign Minister of Norway for his intervention. And now I welcome His Excellency Yassine Fall, the Foreign Minister of Senegal.
Excellences,
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Senegal welcomes the resumption of this conference at a time when human conscience is deeply shaken by the impossible tragedy which is unfolding in front of our eyes. We firmly condemn the disproportionate and unacceptable operation by Israel in Palestine, which in 20 months has resulted in humanitarian capacity and resulted in 58,000 dead and 139 wounded, without counting the thousands of people in the West Bank and 400 humanitarians, including UNRWA staff, who is indispensable on the ground, and their lives were lost as they were trying to save others. Time does not allow us to describe here, as it merits to be described, the tragedy, nor can we remake history. We are here to collectively move history forward by putting an end to this tragedy. It is a matter of urgency to put an end to the catastrophe in Gaza, and it is urgent to fully recognize the state of Palestine and to admit it as a fully fledged member of the United Nations. That is the good meaning of history. The Palestinian people can no longer wait. The occupation has to end, and the suffering of the civilians has to come to an end. The promise of having two states has to become a reality. And in order for it to become a reality, standing idly by is not an option, and the status quo is not an unavoidable option. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the two-state solution is not just a political stance, it's a deep expression of justice and humanity. And that is why Senegal welcomes the structure of this conference, which through its 8 roundtables is being very pragmatic in tackling the essential pillars of the issue. Without them, no lasting peace is possible. As a basis for any lasting solution, there is international law, and Senegal and Brazil has re-expressed their commitment to it as co-chairs of the working group on this matter. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the Declaration of New York and the follow-up process afterwards need to end up with providing us with a clear roadmap with specific steps and the effective monitoring and accountability mechanism accompanying it. Its level of ambition will be judged according to how deep the engagements under it are, based on the right and the deadlines. It is essential to make sure that our message is clear. And it is also a way of making sure that we change course and base it on political courage. And as a follow-up to this message, my country, Senegal, welcomed on the 9th July this year a conference on the issue of Jerusalem under the auspices of the Committee on the Exercise of the Inalienable Rights of the Palestinian People, together with the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. And this meeting shed light on the need to have collective action so as to safeguard the status of Jerusalem as well as the rights of the Palestinian people's rights to self-determination and return. And the international community has to continue in this vein even more to ensure the equal sovereignty of the Palestinians and Israelis and the equal dignity of the two peoples. On behalf of His Excellency De Harfai, President of the Republic of Senegal, I would like to reaffirm very strongly the commitment of Senegal for the implementation of the two-state solutions, two states living side by side in peace and security and in mutual recognition. My country is ready to contribute towards this revitalized process side by side with all nations striving for peace. I thank you.